What's up guys, Sean here, bringing you a video in conjunction with the David Horowitz Freedom Center and StopK12Indoctrination.org, and today I'm going to show you how Black Lives Matter has been infiltrating our education system in cities across this country. We are currently in the month of February, and for a lot of Americans that remember their own schooling while they were growing up, they will recall that February is Black History Month. I'm sure for a lot of you, me just saying the phrase Black History Month conjures up the images of specific events and figures that worked to shape our nation into the more perfect union that was promised to us in our founding documents. Now, if that's how you remember your education in association with Black History Month, then I hate to break it to you because you're showing your age. Now, in cities like Philadelphia, New York, Washington, D.C., Seattle, Boston, Detroit, Baltimore, and many cities across the country have had their curriculums hijacked by radical leftists who are now promoting a Black Lives Matter in our public schools curriculum. Students in schools across this country are now learning that white supremacy is the true currency of the United States of America. They are being taught to fear police officers because police officers are racists that are just looking for a reason to kill minorities. They are currently being trained as advocates for the renewal of the DACA program. They are being taught that we need to create safe zones for illegal immigrants within our communities. They are being trained to affirm LGBTQ identities, and they are being taught that the root of all evil within the United States of America is our free market capitalist economy. Now, it should not be surprising that these are the tenets of the Black Lives Matter at School curriculum, because if you look at the people who back this program, you'll understand that it is perfectly in line with everything that these people have tried to do in their careers. Jonathan Kozol is a backer of this program. Kozol is probably the worst and unfortunately one of the most influential education reformers in the history of this country, and he wrote an entire book about how the United States should emulate the great success that is communist Cuba's education system. And the other major backer of the Black Lives Matter at School program is Bill Ayers, a name that might ring familiar to you if you recall that he was the former leader of the terrorist organization, the Weather Underground Group, a terrorist organization that conducted bombings throughout this country while it was active. Now, while it should be troubling to you that the mastermind behind these terroristic bombings backs this curriculum, what should be even more troubling to you is that the original motivation of those bombings was to set off a race war within the United States of America. Now, when you examine the documents put forward by this organization for our education system, you realize that they have lesson plans that extend all the way from preschool through our K-12 education system and on to college. When you examine the early education portions of these lesson plans, you'll notice that the entire art and activism program is designed to have children create posters and other activist material in order to advance leftist causes. They have provided coloring books that are clearly designed to indoctrinate kindergartners into supporting globalism, as well as pages teaching children to value the collective over the individual. Now, it's not just the propaganda on racial and social justice issues that caught my eye. Literally every leftist organization gets their due in terms of indoctrination with your children. There's an entire exercise in the elementary school portion of this curriculum where students role play as striking teachers in a lesson plan that is a clear example of indoctrinating those students into endorsing teachers' unions, which is something we should all think about when we see images of students allegedly on their own walking out with their teachers in solidarity. Now, I want to be perfectly clear, thus far, I have only scratched the surface of the materials provided for this program to our public school system. There are curriculums for every grade level. There are lesson plans meant to indoctrinate children to have certain views about race, gender, the 2020 election, and any other leftist cause you can possibly imagine. I will link all of the documents in the description box of this video so you can see what your children are learning depending on their grade level. And if this information is disturbing to you and it makes you want to fight back, then please visit StopK12Indoctrination.org, where you can read over our proposed legislation to fix this. It's called the Code of Ethics for K-12 educators. It has specific provisions in it meant to address legislatively indoctrination in our public schools. On the website, you can also read about other instances of K-12 indoctrination, and you can report indoctrination that you might find in your own school district. This has been Sean Fitzgerald from the David Horowitz Freedom Center. Till next time.